That trip to the grocery store or the gas station is costing us more. Prices are high on so many items, and in a new Federal Reserve survey, most people say they expect to spend even more over the next year, and that's despite a recent move by the feds to get inflation under control. Inflation has been increasing sharply for months now. You probably noticed. So the Federal Reserve raised interest rates to help.
It's hard not to notice,
Yeah.
right? So how long could it take to make a difference in the economy, and when could people feel some relief? Professor Lawrence Harris is with the USC Marshall School of Business and also former chief economist with the SEC. Professor, welcome.
Welcome.
First question here is, we've heard a lot about the war in Ukraine's impact on the economy. Question is here, how will inflation be affected if there's a settlement or if things get worse in Ukraine?
If things get worse in Ukraine, energy prices will undoubtedly continue to rise, and that'll be worse for inflation. If the Ukraine situation resolves itself quickly, there's some hope that energy prices will moderate, and that will help inflation.
Well, Professor, of course, people are spending more right now on a host of items. What can they do? What can you suggest to help save money and fight inflation in the meantime?
Well, the way to save money is simply not spend as much.
Right.
If you are looking to buy something that you normally buy premium, maybe you just buy regular, whether it's gasoline. You usually don't have that choice, but you know, at the grocery, instead of buying sirloin, then perhaps you buy chopped meat instead. And in this way, save some money. But it's challenging and it's disappointing to many people.
It sure is, Professor. Another question here is, how long might things take to bounce back now that the feds have raised interest rates, and could some areas get worse?
We're probably still looking towards the worst of what's going to happen. Inflation's presently running at 8.5%. Unless there are substantial improvements with logistics, which are causing inflation to rise, then it's likely that inflation will continue at a pretty high level. Meanwhile, interest rates are still, less than 2%, and they're only raising it at 0.5% per month or every couple months. We'll see what they decide to do. 2% fighting an 8% inflation is not going to do it. So we're going to look for increased pain. They want to raise rates slowly so that it doesn't become too painful or too much of a shock all at once. But as you just mentioned, with people still planning to spend more in the future, until those spending plans change, we're going to still see a fair amount of inflation.
Professor, anyone who has checked their retirement fund recently has gotten a shock, obviously. What is your advice for people when it comes to long-range planning?
Well, first of all, let's talk about how big the shock is. It's disappointing to see prices drop, and in particular the stock market and the bond markets. But you don't have to go back more than a year to find that the markets are still at the levels they were a year ago. At that time, we were quite happy. They can drop further, of course, but they may stabilize. It remains to be seen. The advice, though, is to basically sit tight. People who end up selling when prices drop and buying when prices rise are doing the opposite from the way to make money. You buy low and sell high. You don't sell low and buy high. And so basically sit on it. Long-term money should be long-term.
Hang tight. All right, Professor Lawrence Harris, thanks again for being with us today. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right.